19-13 of a record coming in. They advance to the Final Four as the first 10 seed ever to make it to the Final Four. They did that by defeating the heavily favored and super rolling University of Virginia in the Elite Eight, shocking the world. Virginia got to the Elite Eight by defeating 4-seed Iowa State, and Syracuse got there by defeating 11-seed fellow Cinderella this year, Gonzaga. So you've got 1-seed North Carolina versus 10-seed Syracuse. Also going at it on April 2nd, and then our championship will be held, I believe it is Monday. Yes, Monday, April 4th. So we'll have Sunday off, and then boom, championship Monday, where I am predicting we will see, staying true to my bracket as well, in addition to going off of what I've seen now in the tournament, the Oklahoma Sooners. I am picking them to beat Villanova and advance to the finals, sticking with my original pick. And I believe that they will take on the University of North Carolina. I don't see Syracuse's 10-seed Cinderella run getting past the uber-talented, playing extremely well North Carolina Tar Heels on a neutral site. But you never know. It's March Madness. Anything can happen. So that would leave us with 2-seed Oklahoma versus 1-seed North Carolina. 2-seed Nova versus 1-seed North Carolina. I think as long as Syracuse doesn't make the championship, that's the main thing I'm hoping for. It's because I don't think we're going to get a great, worthy championship game. It's a nice story, but I'm more interested in the quality of basketball than anything else. So I'm picking Oklahoma versus UNC in the championship Monday night, and I am picking Oklahoma because that's who I had. That's the horse I had going the farthest that's still in it by far. I had them losing in the championship to Michigan State. Now that Michigan State is not in the championship, I have them beating whoever they come up against. And I had that as soon as Michigan State went out. I was like, all right, Oklahoma's my team now to win it all. So boom, Oklahoma Sooners going to be your national champs when we're talking college basketball next week. And one final note, your game times for those Final Four games on Saturday. The first one is the Battle of the 2 seeds, Nova versus Oklahoma, and that will start at 5:09 p.m. Central Standard Time on TBS, followed by the Syracuse North Carolina game. Scheduled tip-off is 7:49, also on TBS. Pretty sure that the national championship game on Monday night will be held on CBS. Look for that to start around 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, give or take. All right, well, boom. You said I couldn't make it fit. Granted, it took a lot longer, more time than I had hoped for and initially planned. But alas, in your face, I made it all fit. As I told you I would. It just took a little more time and a few more drinks than we thought it might. But, all's well that ends well. So, we find ourselves at the end of our show here, as we do every week, contemplating our balls deep thought of the day. We do not have a lot of time to invest into our balls deep thought of the day, so it's going to be food for thought for the most part this week. I just want to thank you, as always, for tuning into the show, no matter how you've been finding the show. Thank you so very much. And again, make sure next week to look for the show on glradio.net, our new internet radio home. But, like I said, Balls Deep Thought of the Day right now, we're going to do a pair of them. Just questions for you to think about, okay? Number one, since we're talking a lot of basketball, closing with basketball here, there was an interesting idea posed by a basketball player last week, the MVP of the WNBA, reigning MVP of the WNBA. I want to say her name is Ella Belladonna, or Ella Belladon, or Ella Deladon, or Ella Deladonna. One of those that I said, hopefully. But she's freaking amazing, super talented, been that way since college, where she was a standout, and has transitioned that over into her WNBA career. Super easy on the eyes as well. Wonderful personality, like charismatic and friendly and cool in all her interviews and stuff. Like, just a great ambassador for women's professional basketball. But she posed an interesting idea last week that is at least worthy of us all thinking about for a little while, and that is the lowering of the hoops in the WNBA to create and allow more dunking, which would theoretically create more excitement, which would theoretically create more interest. I don't know. I mean, the idea is well-founded to me, from the sense that we change, we have set up rule changes and things like that are different from male to female sports all the time in all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to sit here and list a bunch of examples because we don't have time, but it's out there. Go look at it. Play a round of golf and see where a man tees off and where a woman tees off. There's all kinds of examples. Softball, the size of the basketball that they use in basketball for men and women. So the concept of having the hoop be a little bit lower for women, because they're not going to be quite as large as the men, they're not going to be able to jump quite as much as the men, that makes sense to me. But would it achieve any of the results that they are, expressing hope for if they were to do it? That is where my opinion differs. I don't think it would make any improvement or difference whatsoever. I don't think the number of dunking would increase by very much, and I also don't think that the quality of dunking would be anything that would garner, more fan support and more fan interest in the product. So that's where I'm split on it. You, by all means, see what you think on it. If you think maybe you just think straight up, no, they should lower it. That's why not, Or maybe you think that's ridiculous, that's degrading. Keep it the way it is. What a slap in the face to women. I don't know. Metaphorical, that is, of course. Hope Ray Rice is listening. Ouch. Too soon? I don't think so. But so there's your balls deep thought number one. There's your left balls deep thought. Now we're going to give you a full pair with the right balls deep thought of the day. And that regards villain Duncan Keith. This is for all my fellow Minnesota Wild fans and all the hockey fans in general who listen. You had to, and specifically everyone who saw what Duncan Keith did in the game the other night against the Wild with his stick. Our balls deep thought of the day is, what should his punishment be? I want to know what you think. Should he be suspended for the rest of the regular season? Should he be suspended for the rest of the season entirely? Should he be suspended from hockey indefinitely, until going through some kind of big program in the off season and stuff like that? Should he be suspended for a playoff series or a playoff game? Should he, not be suspended at all? I don't know. There's all kinds of different punishments that you could come up with for what he did. I am interested in what you think. And the best way that I can find that out is for you to tweet me what you think Duncan Keith's punishment should be for his heinous stick act. The heinous act he committed with his stick the other night. Man, if you didn't know what I was talking about, you might wonder. But let me know that by tweeting to me at BDST Show, or send me a message or comment on a Wild post that I share on Facebook by searching Scotty-Ball. In my opinion, he should be out for the remainder of the regular season and one playoff series. Should the Blackhawks, advance to the second round of the playoffs, then I would be willing to lift his suspension and accept his time served. And not punish his team anymore for his acts either, and allow them to continue. But that's what I think. Rest of the regular season and one playoff series, Duncan Keith out. What do you think? Let me know. Again, thanks for tuning in. As always, make sure to tune in next week, whether it's on my favorite, the Spreaker app, SoundCloud, YouTube, or our hopefully new up and running internet radio home, glradio.net. Don't miss the show next week. Thanks for listening this week. Have a great, safe weekend. Hopefully enjoying lots of sports. And until next time, have a great WrestleMania this Sunday. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm out. Peace.